Guys, welcome back to another reaction video. I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you. Thank you so much for all your comments. I see you, for all your love. Thank you so much. So we are going to be checking out the Greek secrets. You guys, I want to know the Greek secrets. So let's check this out. Washington XOA, the Greek secrets. Greeks are known for Philotimo. Yeah, I got it. Philotimo.
Are most well known for creating democracy and modern medicine, but they also created
modern
other
medicine
concepts like trial by jury, free speech, individual rights, civilian control over the military, separation between religion and government, middle-class egalitarianism, and constitutional government.
Okay.
They also pioneered this.
Oh, they actually wrote separation between individual and government, traditional and government. I think I've read that book. Yeah, I think, but I didn't know it's. Ooh.
Mathematics, abstract geometry, trigonometry, biology, zoology, botany,
zoology. I know that, but in astronomy,
latitude and longitude, the theory the Earth is round, measuring the Earth's circumference within 10% accuracy, the wheelbarrow, the crane, the pulley, the catapult, the lever, the steam engine, the thermometer, the odometer, indoor heating and plumbing, and the alarm clock. The Greeks were the first to stop Hitler's Axis forces. And
I know that the Greeks are very, very good in geography also. I know they're very, very good in geography. You guys, I'm actually getting to know more secrets about the Greeks.
Credited by the United States, Russia, and Great Britain with being essential to Hitler's defeat. They were unsurpassed in their courage, saving their Jewish community from the Holocaust. The Greeks have pioneered in so many ways for the
saving it from the Holocaust.
They have showed courage throughout history and have been on the right side of history. What is their secret? Perhaps it is the idea of filotimo. What is filotimo? No other language has a word for this uniquely Greek term. It is considered a complex constellation of values that is difficult to define. All Greeks know it, even if they've never heard the word before, until now.
It's hard to think of a word more packed with meaning, more packed with positive values than filotimo. It's a perfect word.
Philotimo. I'd actually say uniquely Greek concept.
It seemed to sum up the best of the Greek character.
It's a word that describes a way of life.
Philotimia. It's a sense of how people feel towards humanity, fellow humans.
The Greek spirit of doing what's right.
Philotimia, you guys, it's a word that defines the Greek character. So if you're looking for the secrets of Greece, you have to go through the word philotomy. It comes out from the Greek word. It's a word that actually ganged up to define the people Greece. You guys, oh my God.
What's honorable, even when one's own interests and maybe even one's own life are placed in peril.
Whether it means you're going to earn less money, or whether it means that not everybody is going to love you. Philotimo means you're doing it based on your whole sense of duty.
I believe Philotimo is the most unique word that a human being has to express himself.
The ancient Greeks were smart enough to come up with a word that described things that are subtle, that have nuances.
It's not very easily translatable unless you bring together many different elements.
Duty, honor, courage.
Oh my God. Okay, this word was actually from the ancient Greece, okay, and according to him, he said the ancient Greece was actually wise to come up with a word that is more modern, that is not easy to describe, but it's a word that simply defines the people Greece. This is beautiful.
Personal sacrifice, higher calling,
Taking pride in their work. Compassion and generosity.
It's about honor. It's also about knowledge.
A duty to do what is right.
To rise above pettiness and trivialities.
Human kindness, empathy, humility and pride, love of family, love of country, and to think about those those that maybe haven't been quite as fortunate.
Is within the DNA of Greeks, and I think of humanity overall. But it's something which has to be inspired.
Most of us, and certainly in my case, I try to live up to the word as often as I can in my life.
To live not just for yourself, but for something larger than yourself.
All of these things embody not only the classical ideals of the Greek people, but some of the attributes of modern Greeks, including Greek Americans. If we live by these values, we will do well and thrive.
Philotimo comes from the two Greek words, philos, which means...
Oh my god, you guys, Philotimo, and I'm just so amazed the way the I'm just so amazed the way it's been described, because it does not have a certainty description. Living for yourself, living for humanity, cherishing others, living for others, standing for people. Like you guys, there's a whole lot of meaning to to this word philotimon, and that's where the concept of the Greek secret comes from, because you guys, I don't even know where to start from, because this is absolutely overwhelming, you guys.
And timi, which is honor.
Philotimo could be translated as love of honor.
Philo mean friends, and timo mean honor, which means philo is friends, honor, philotimon. So it's a Greek word. So philo means friends, and timo means honor. Wow, I'm learning a lot.
Or respect for honor.
It's love and honor, but it's not the honor about you. It's the honor within you that's inculcated generationally.
Every once in a while, you're put to the test as to whether you have Philotimo and how much Philotimo you have.
We derive our personal honor in significant measure for those things we engage in that are beyond our own self-interest.
Honor, glory, the desire to be remembered, motivated some of the most heroic acts in ancient Greek history.
You find it in the great battles. You find it at the Pass of Thermopylae. They knew that they were going to die. There were 300 Spartans against all the Persians.
But there was no greater glory than dying for their country, their way of life.
They knew that they're going to pay a very heavy price, the heaviest price that you can ever pay, but they still did what they thought was the right thing to do.
They figured out at a basic level that reciprocity, the act of ruling and being ruled by others, and doing it in a reciprocal way, it works.
Each individual contributing to the whole of Greek society in the ancient world, I think, propelled all kinds of ancillary developments. It was a very fertile ground for critical thinking.
Even after Rome conquered Greece, they really didn't conquer their culture. Their culture conquered Rome.
It carried over from the ancient Greeks.
Wow. This is amazing. Even after Rome conquered Greece, they did not conquer the culture. Their culture conquered the Rome. The word philotimon, you guys, need to be studied. Like, Greece need to be studied. Greek need to be studied in oh my god. This is too much.
Through the Byzantine period into modern Greek culture today.
And it is really a remarkable treasure that has permeated every aspect of Western civilization, and really part and parcel of what makes up most of the democracies of the world now.
Philotimo as a composite and complex term involving decency, dignity, respect, honesty, truthfulness, sincerity. You might use the term in a motivating power for a child. Have the Philotimo of doing your homework. Or you might have something in a condition of philanthropic assistance. Then there is in a question form. Don't you have the Philotimo to assist the people who are in need? In the New Testament, we have 3 times we have the usage of the term as a verb by St. Paul One of them is very beautiful. He says, Philotimo, I have this type of noble ambition to come to Rome, writing to the Romans, and even preach the gospel and elaborate the gospel to you.
What God asked us to do is to give in others without asking for anything in return, but love and affection.
Whenever you mention the word Philotimo to a Greek, you're always going to see a softening of the eye.
I was born and raised in Greece, so Philotimo was a word that I heard all my life.
My mother, my father would always talk about Philotimo. My grandparents would always talk about Philotimo.
My parents, my sister, my teachers, my classmates, everybody.
My Greek background gave me strength of character. What does that mean? Don't pick on me, you're going to get a poke in the nose.
When I played the music very loud, and by doing so I was disturbing the neighbors, my father would say, "Don't you have any Philotimo?"
Every time that you deviate from honorable and decent and dignified way of behaving and living, people will ask you, don't you have Philotimo?
If you don't act correctly, the community will look down on you. You don't only embarrass yourself, you embarrass your entire family.
When you go outside of your home, you're not just going by yourself. You're taking the name of your father and your mother with you.
That is a very unique aspect of our community and our culture. You feel as though you are accountable much far beyond yourself, to your family, to your community, and to your history, your legacy. You can see Philotimo today during Greece's Great Depression. People rallied around each other and society kept its cohesion.
I would actually call it a sort of a binding undercurrent of what unites Greeks around the world together.
The great philosopher Thalis, what he said that Philotimo is like you breathe.
I went all over the country in 1987 asking Greeks to support me for mayor of San Francisco. There was only one reason.
You guys, the meaning of Philotimo is amazing. So for those of you that have Greek foundation, so whenever you're doing something that is not right, according to them, the parents said, don't you have Philotimo in you? Whenever you're doing your assignment, you refer to as someone that has Philotimo because you are self-dependent. You are doing it for the people. Whenever you do a charity work, you are referred to a philotomist, someone that has a Philotimo in you. Whenever you are kind, you're being honest. Like Philotimo is referred to people that are kind, honest, selfless, independent, brave. Like you guys, I am just so warm. How did this Philotimo had to do with Greeks? What does he have to do with Greeks? I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video. I'm going to explain how and what connects Philotimo and Greece, just like what we are saying here. But that is my own conclusion of this video.
The reason they did it was out of Philotimo.
Greeks pride themselves on being very hospitable, very warm people.
There is something within the Greek American subculture, something within Hellenism that has some magic to it. But what is it? Nobody can put their finger on it. And I think the answer may be it is Philotimo.
Our group employs many thousands of people, and we have contracts in place with few of them. What it means is that the value of one's word is more than the value of one's contract. Philotimo.
I was conscious of it every time I gave a speech, every time I had a press conference, every time I made a decision, every time I was in public, every time I was in private. I wanted to make my people proud. And for me, that emanates from Philotimo.
We came penniless. We've been fortunate to come in a country where there are so many opportunities, and using our Philotimo, you really help us get ahead.
The Greeks that came here in the early 1900s were universally 100% of them poor and uneducated. Within one generation, they ranked among the top of Americans in terms of education and in terms of income.
The Greeks around the world, both here and elsewhere, are accomplishing amazing things. With Philotimo playing in the background, I think there's a strong sense amongst the Greeks that we're pretty special people.
In the great conflicts of the 20th century, World War I, World War II, and in the Cold War, Greece was always on the right side of history.
When Mussolini asked Metaxa, the Greek prime minister, for free passage through Greece,
Immediately, on the spot, 3 o'clock in the morning, he said, "Oh, no."
it was his Philotimo that made him say no.
The response, "Ohi," by the Greek people
No,
to the
yeah, I think I've
attack
reacted to this one when he
by
said no.
fascist
It
Italian
was
army
because of
was
Philotimo
based on
that made him
Philotimo.
say
It was
no.
the first victory that the Allies had, and it was very, very spirited. That was a monumental demonstration of heroism. Heroism that drove Churchill to say, it is not the Greeks that fight like heroes, it is the heroes that fight like Greeks.
After trying to decimate the Greek community, they started going after the Jewish community. And you had some heroes like the Archbishop of Athens, Damascus,
including the mayor and bishop of the island of Zakynthos.
In 1943, the German military commander ordered Metropolitan Chrysostomos and the mayor of Zakynthos to prepare a list of the Jewish community on the island. His goal was to deport them to concentration camps in Poland.
The order had already gone out that any Greek hiding a Jew will be executed on the spot.
Instead of preparing such a list, the Metropolitan and the mayor went to the Jewish community on the island and sent them into hiding in the mountains or with Christian friends in the countryside. Metropolitan Chrysostomos and the mayor then returned to the German military commander with a piece of paper that contained only their 2 names. They told the commander it was the entire list of the Jewish community of Zakynthos.
These 2 leaders embodied everything that word tries to encapsulate.
People risked their lives to protect people, and I think that separates us to a certain degree and identifies us with Philotimo.
You think of the golden rule. You treat others as you would want to be treated. It embodies that rule, but then takes it over.
Guys, Philotimo has actually defined itself, with the whole lot of definitions. Now, you were asked what connects the Greece and the word Philotimon. Philotimon is just an example of Greece. It's just like when you want to define the word Philotimon, you are obviously defining the people Greece, because they are actually known for their Philoptimon attitude. When you're leaving your house, you're not living for yourself. You're living and you are representing your country, you are representing your father, you are representing your family. That's where it comes from, Philoptimon. When you are doing anything, you guys, you are doing it out of Philoptimon. People risked their life for people in the World War II out of Philoptimon, you guys. And during the ancient time, the ancient Greece does not have the ability. They have a poor education, but they have the spirit of Philoptimon in them. Now, what is the secret of success of Greece? Because they have the Philoptimon in them. So when you have a Philoptimon in you, first of all, you are kind. You are precious. You don't live for yourself alone. You live for your people. So when you want to know the secret of Greece, you have to pass the road of Philoptimon. So the secret to success of Greece is Philoptimon. That is the conclusion of this video. Anyway, I learned a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you so much for your love and comments on the comment section. You guys, I can't wait to be in Greece. Oh my god, I can't wait to be, because a whole lot of documentaries is gonna be happening there, you guys. Anyway, thank you so much. I'll see you on my next one. Bye.